Okay, this is Riaz sir,
Yeah.
Riaz Singh,
Hey. Hello.
and he is a nutrition and fitness enthusiast, and he's very good at analyzing people.
Am I? Okay.
Yeah. So today we're having him at this rendezvous session. So let's get started. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what got you into fitness?
Oh, myself. I mean, my poor health condition in the first place, because as I have already mentioned in one of my Our Time articles, that when I was a kid, I was a lean kid. Fabio reminds me of that. But then the coaching and all those, it starts, and you start binging on foods which you don't need to, and stress eating and all those, and automatically I started to gain weight. But then again, it was stoppable at that point of time. But then things, it took the worst part when after marriage, our society, all the dawats, and in our society, it's pretty. You're gonna see one very funny thing in our society. For example, suppose I'm overweight, and suppose Mr. X, I'm overweight, and Mr. X is not.
They'll feed you more.
They'll feed you more because they believe that you enjoy enjoy food, and they will feed you more. So that's what happened with me. They used to feed me more. And who doesn't like to be fed? And therefore,
The Jamai Ador phase.
and then at one point of time, I figured, oh, I'm at a very short period of time, I developed one bad pain underneath my feet because I'm a teacher. I teach all day, almost all day. I teach batches after batches of students, so I need to stay standing. So in that case, I figured out the weight was way too higher, heavier for my legs to hold. In that case, I figured out that it's time. I should start doing something reverse what I'm doing. I mean, I used to take classes, have to come home, and then all the food in the world was there. And so that's the thing. That's what made me realize that I'm doing it all wrong. After that, fitness came in. It changed. I mean, I was actually a 100 kg person, and I'm now I'm actually truly amazed at how it happened. I mean, a lot of effort was there actually. But when I first went to the gym trainer who happens to be my cousin, he said that it's not possible with you. Go back home because you have all the wrong things, wrong way. And I was so demotivated. And you're supposed to be, right? Because he's an all buff guy and everything, and he said it. And then I figured out that, okay, I have to figure my own things. And I started running in my garage. I mean, parking of the apartment, not garage. So people saw me even running at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., because I'm done with my work. And whatever time I had in my schedule, I would do that. So I never cheated on that, and slowly it changed. But now, with more science backing it up and more of education, now I'm way, way more educated than I started with this, and I'm also doing a course on nutrition. So in that case, now I understand much better. It's not so tough the way we think. It's more psychological than physical.
Is it so?
It is. It is. It is. I was talking to her. I can actually tell you a few things which will change your life.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, what your cousin said was the answer to your question. Like, I'm not happy with my lifestyle. My cousin said it, so that's what motivated you.
My cousin said I stood on the weighing machine, right? And 100 kg came up, outright 100 kg. It came up. Then he said it's not possible by you because it's not a weight of a human being. So I said okay, which is true as per him because he's a gym guy. He would never accept that. He would say that a perfect physique is everything and all. Everything, anybody else is not a human being to him. So in that case, and since he's my cousin, he can say things to me.
Yeah, mean things.
Yeah, mean things. So in that case, what I figured out that okay, now it's my turn, because because no is never an answer.
Yep.
I mean, if a huge bodybuilder is a human being, so am I. The difference are the habits, isn't it? We are consciously choosing something wrong, they're consciously choosing something right.
Yeah.
Right? And then I figured out that a flexible dieting will work. You know what's a flexible dieting?
It takes a long time.
No.
Where you include your favorite food. We were talking
Yes,
about that.
I mean, I'm never without my cheesecakes. I'm never
He
without
has
them.
3 cheesecakes.
Yes, I'll never do that. It's all about there at the first place. At the first place, you have to understand the energy balance. The first equation is calorie in and calorie out. Yes, it's true. It's true. Because you cannot actually lose energy anywhere. It will be stored.
Yeah.
Right? Anyone will say that, but after that, nobody has a clear suggestion. Yes, calorie in and calorie out. And then everybody will ask you, okay, go ahead, eat salad. Say you consume this little amount of calorie, and then you burn more calorie, and okay, you get slimmer. It's true. The water weights, they tend to fall off. Right? Your cells, they tend to hold water, it will fall off. But with normal people, it's okay. But I am into active bodybuilding as well. Okay? And I actually help a lot of young bodybuilders to know about diet too. For our case, it's more fine-tuning, right? It's about body fat percentages. I mean, a toned physique will not do. How toned it is. Is it 12%, 10%, 9%, 8%? In that case, we learn more. And then slowly we figured out that if you restrict someone from all the foods he or she likes, in that case, that person will come back like a hungry wolf to those food again. So it's better to create a diet plan where you're going to be keeping those foods, a portion of it.
So the transition from the 100 kg Riaz to where you are today.
78 now, yeah, I lost 2 kgs actually, which is sad.
How hard?
Now I want to gain weight. I mean muscle mass, bulk up, the typical term.
So how hard was it?
As I said, it's hard for people when we don't know it. I was a very less knowledgeable person then, and hence it was very tough. But now, for example, I help a lot of people. For now, a lot of people are finding it easy. But I did the hard work and unnecessary work. For example, I would eat foods which I never liked. I like salad actually. I didn't like soups. I didn't like vegetable soups, which you have to sit back and eat, and it makes you it makes you look stupid, isn't it? For example, let's say how many of us are here? We're 6. Let's say I'm on a diet. What you people are eating, and I'm just having a soup with you people.
That was sad.
That's just sad, and that's a funny thing for you people, because the moment I go out and you people will be having a big laugh. Yeah, oh my God, what is he doing even? No, it's not that. No one should pursue that. Everyone should take it in a very flexible way. For example, understanding which foods you love, and then eat. For example, if I have an invitation today, for example, if I have an invitation, that is, I have to, let's say, attend a marriage ceremony, I would be on salad the whole day. I will just eat 2 salads, 2 big salads, some chicken or egg with it. But when I go to the ceremony, I'll be eating more than anybody else. Everybody will be like amazed, what is he doing? And how does he maintain eating these things? Because their energy balance has to be there, right? You just cannot eat, in 3 occasions, you just cannot eat everything. As I said, I am a big proponent of opportunity cost, to believe in it. I mean, you can't get everything all together, right? If you want biryani at night, then you have to let go of that rice in the afternoon. Very simple.
Pali ceremonies are like 2 or 3 days long. So every night, suppose every night you have a function, a ceremony.
I'll have a very fun time at that time.
The next 3 days, your meal is going to be 2 salads per day and a happy meal at the end of the day.
Let me tell you one thing, and you get this thing very straight. We essentially forget, or we try to forget how we were created. If technology were not to be there, we never would have had refrigerator and nothing. In that case, we had to go hunt, gather, and eat at night. We were trained like that. I mean, we were created like that. You have no idea how long a person can fast, actually. We think that, okay, fasting is very dangerous and everything. You can fast for a very long period of time, as long as... Okay, this comes to another point. You know why it is much easier to gain fat and much difficult to lose? Because you are primed for that. When human race started, there were not too many food. The one who had more body fat would survive. That's a fact. The one who had more body fat would survive. For example, if person X has more body fat and person Y has less body fat and they are starved, person Y will die earlier.
He like that person while you're indicating to me.
If you think so, if you have less body fat, then you will in case of a starvation. Hence, it's very difficult for you to take away fat from the body because body doesn't understand that everything has changed. Body thinks that you're staying, in homeostasis. What's happening around, what happened is still happening, right? So they will hold on to fat more, right? So in that case, you have to, once again, energy balance comes into play. And therefore, if I have 4 ceremonies, I have to make that energy balance there. I have to, if I want to live like a king in the evening, I have to work for it. I actually have to work for it.
Nutrition is the most important thing for you, like when it comes to fitness. Nutrition comes primarily, and then working.
If I say it, you'd find it hard to believe, but if I say it's 90%.
90% nutrition.
Yes, and 10% workout, because anybody can lift weight. Anybody can. You start lifting. Lifting weight helps you with partitioning, actually, with nutrient partitioning. For example, if you lift weight, you get leaner fast. You know why? Because your muscles will be requiring more food. In that case, food will go more into the muscle, less into fat stores. Amazingly, the fat cells and the muscle cells, they have the cell membrane, and cell membrane has the same function, or they have similar way of absorbing energy. So if you don't work out, the more you eat, the more you'll be fatter. If you work out, the more you eat, you'll still gain some fat, but a majority will be muscle. Majority will lead towards muscle cells growth. In that case, everybody should do some sort of workout. For example, there is a myth that girls or ladies should not resistance train. I mean, they should not take up weights and everything. This is total myth. Girls who has taken weights and worked out with weights has shown greater response towards a better, physicality. I mean, instead, those who run or walk or everything, they will have a very poor physique, in the sense that the physique will hold on to fat faster. Whereas if you train with weights, because you can never be muscular like a man. The pictures you see of women who are very muscular, they are on, they're on hormones. They have the male sex hormone injected to gain muscle. You do not produce that much of a male sex hormone to gain that amount of muscle mass. So in that case, every girl should take up some weight training. It will massively benefit. Yes, that's because you go to any gym, any modern gym today, in today's world, they will ask you to lift weight. Formerly, they would have just shown you the treadmill. So treadmill in the long run is not going to do any good to you. It's not going to do any good to you because the workouts are very boring. Walking on the treadmill for 40 minutes, who does that? Who does that? You try that. You leave working out within some time.
How do you make workout sessions interesting?
At first, you have to understand what sort of workout you like most, and then holding on to it. Bring more variety in it, bring more intensity and volume in it. Let's say suppose you like running, then you start running at a slow pace. Then you start running like a sprinter someday. and then you have to find fun in it. Anything will work. I mean, the word interest should come with what you like, not what she likes. একটা এখন, like, for example, a supermodel or a Bollywood actress is like this, and she said this in a column, and you thought these are the holy grails of having that physique. No.
It depends on me.
It depends on what motivates me.
Weight loss and a good physique is an objective, and there are hundreds of strategies to get into it. Your strategy is yours. You have to understand that at first. As long as you follow someone else's strategy, you'll be following someone else's strategy. And if that strategy does not suit you, it will never make any gains for you. Isn't it? I mean, we all have different perspective towards life. In case of weight loss, it's the same. Some people will be losing weight with pizza. Some people will do it with salad.
Exactly. How does that happen?
Metabolism. Yeah, that's metabolism.
Metabolism is one, but there is manipulation too. That person's not eating that much. If you see an overweight person losing weight on junk food, in that case, that overweight person is not eating that much. Whenever you're seeing him or her, you're seeing him or her having a junk food, it's okay. But probably that's one meal of his entire day. Probably he's not being able to, or she's not being able to manage enough time to eat. Japanese, Chinese people, they fed on rice and fish for years after years. And they are one of the, if you search the statistics, they're one of the tribe with the highest longevity. That too with a lean physique. How? In our society, you go to any dietitian, they will call you, the first thing they'll say, stop carb.
Don't have rice.
Don't have rice. Why? Why? I love rice. I just love rice. I mean, I would eat as many rice as possible. Problem is, we don't understand the basics. Say, a Japanese meal is very low on oil, sometimes no oil. In sushi, there are no oil.
But then we've got chicken curry.
Yes. Yeah, so, no, you have to work, as I said, you have to believe in opportunity cost, or else nothing's gonna work. If you love rice, you have to love rice at that meal. With that, you should have minimum fat. If you love fat, in that case, because both fat and carbohydrate provides you energy. Right? Protein also provides energy, but it is used for muscle building. So in that case, if you take two energy dense food at one go, I'm taking a lot of carb, I'm taking a lot of oil, fat in any form. So I'll end up into a deformed shape.
So how long did it take for you to reach?
My level of intensity, it took me only 6 months actually to
From a 100 kg mark
Yeah.
to 70.
to 70. No, I went down to as low as 68.
Oh my.
Yes,
Is that even healthy?
no. As I
You
said,
got obsessed with working out.
I got obsessed with nutrition, to be honest. I understood the benefits, and I ate a lot of those which I didn't eat for a long period of time. For example, I ate a lot of veg, which I didn't. And we all know primarily the best diet is the Mediterranean diet, which is based on a lot of vegetable. Leafy greens, a lot of legumes, then whole grains, less of meat, fish, and all these legumes, like let's say beans, other sort of dal and all. And slowly, it was very fast, radical, and then I worked out too. I worked.
Progress motivated you. Your progress.
Yes, because see, you have to have a goal. I had this goal of leaning down. I'm a person who actually there is a lot to do with personality as well. It's true up to some extent. For example, I'm not a very outgoing person. I am a lot consumed within myself. So in that case, I teach, and then I come back home, and then I work on my work. What should I be writing, or what article should I be reading, and all these things. It's not that I'm a very friendly guy. I always go out and everything. Manageable time I figure out, I be with my wife, we go out, right? Because since I'm married, I have to take her out, right? So in that case, that's the amount of time I'm going outside my total working regiment. So in that case, Yes, a person who has less of a social life can dedicate more.
Okay.
So,
Say no to social life.
Say no to social life.
I'm not saying say no to social life. We we don't understand the difference between need and want. That's where the problem is.
When we hang out, we don't need something, we just want it.
No, thing is that the hangout at the first place is a want. I mean, 7 days a week. Why would you hang out? Don't you have other works?
Tell us, Maisha, why would you hang out
7 days a
week? Tell us.
7 days a week, you should not be doing something on a regular basis. I always believe in this thing that if you study 6 days and then if you don't study the seventh day, you won't forget anything. You'll still remember everything because you just went off track for a day. So if I'm staying back, eating home food, tracking everything for the 6 days, and one day I'm actually partying hard with my friends. I'm eating whatever I like.
That's your cheat day.
I hate the word cheat day. It's a free day where I'm a bit free. Yes, free from my strict diet. I eat everything. I eat a lot. For example, as I would say, I eat 20 egg whites a day. So you can imagine how much I have to eat to keep up this body mass. And I'm not even that humongous. So you have to imagine what they eat. So with this body mass, I eat 20 egg whites a day. Along with, I eat 3 cups of rice. I eat around 3 cups of legumes, for example, beans. I eat fish. I have typically reduced eating meat, completely deducted it from my diet because meat is a lot manipulated in today's world. You know how they're treated and everything, and I am not going to eat hormone unnecessarily. That fish is much better in that case, so I'm more into fish. I eat yogurt. So I eat a lot. In my everyday food, I eat a lot. But I'm a eater who eats 2 or 3 meals a day. I'll eat maximum of 3. I eat 2 meals a day. I eat a lot together, I just get up. That's my way of eating. That sounds very funny, isn't it? Because
most diets say you shouldn't.
then keep your meals small. Big. Make a big meal. Eat all your food at one go or 2 go. Done. If you do not like to eat a lot at one go, then keep them small. If you do not overeat, for example, I overeat. I have this habit. Unless I feel full, I feel totally satiated. I don't feel like.
Me too.
Yeah, if that is the case, you are my kind. You should eat big meals. 1 or 2 big meals, done. My wife, on the other hand, cannot eat a lot at one go. She eats small meals. So she will stick to small meals, whatever her calorie is. And we